We've been more. First off, everything's going well. Um, you know, Very obvious. Our starting point probably wasn't where it has been from the past, just from a conditioning standpoint. So we're taking all that into consideration. We've been patient. Uh, Bring guys along slowly. Sometimes our schedule, we adjust our schedule just based on kind of where we are physically. But overall, it's going really well. Uh, I like the progress we're making. It's a long way yet. It's 4 weeks away until we play. So, we have a veteran team. So, just trying to be smart and try to keep us healthy.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News again. You got your conference schedule yesterday. I guess what are your thoughts on the way they're doing that format-wise, and then your opponents, and then non-conference-wise? I guess how are things shaping up for you guys?
Well, I'll answer the last one first, since that's kind of where it falls on our schedule. I think everybody knows when the NCAA moved our starting date back 2 weeks, it's basically a free-for-all in scheduling. Whatever contracts you've had, is all null and void. So we didn't have a schedule. And still, with the schedule we have right now, there's going to be some moving parts with it. That's just kind of where we're at right now. We all got to be flexible enough to adjust and not use crying about it too much, because it is what it is. Let me turn that off. But we're going to open up in a bubble. We're going to open up in a bubble out in Nebraska. We don't know who our first opponent will be for sure, but we do know we're playing LSU in the second game. There'll be a top 20 team for sure, and all three of those guys who entered the NBA draft, all of them came back, so they're going to be one of the better teams in the country, and definitely in the SEC. Then we'll leave there and come to Louisville's bubble. We're going to play three games at least in Louisville's bubble, and it's going to be great competition there. Besides just Louisville, whoever those other two opponents are going to be really good teams. So, we feel good about those 5 games. I think seems like the protocols with the testing are really in place, and both programs are both, Nebraska and Louisville's done a great job, and getting those kind of things in place. After that, you got a few more non-conference games. We just got to see where all it falls in place. We have a game on our schedule, and 2 days before the testing, you may get a call and you can't play it. So, I think we all need and want some backup plans in case we can't play those games. There's somebody else we can get in place. So those are things on our plate. The conference deal, I think it's a good deal from a standpoint of trying to help us play games. I think it's very obvious being able to play, 2 games in the same venue without the travel will help the testing part. Will maybe, help increase opportunities of playing games. There's no way with the quality, that it can be fair for everybody. It's just where it is. There's 4 teams in the league. We're not even going to play. Sometimes when you play one team, one on the road, not at home, makes it bad enough. Sometimes you got to play 2 on the road now. But it is what it is right now. We all have got to adjust to it. But I do think it's a good move, and I do like playing back-to-back games, whether it seems to be Thursday and Saturday now, and hopefully all the Saturday games are early games too.
Coach Taryn Johnson, WNKY 40. You mentioned 4 weeks until the start of the season. I just have to ask, where is the team's preparation for the upcoming season compared to where you thought they would be at this point in time? And what are some things that you're trying to work on with your guys leading up from now until the season starts?
Well, preparation, I think we're way ahead of schedule from a standpoint. I don't know, ahead of schedule. We've got a veteran basketball team. We got 5 or 6 guys back. It's, played valuable minutes. It's been around the program some, and that makes it easier. I think the biggest thing is just getting your team back conditioning wise. It's a huge adjustment. you guys know how it is. You take off 3 months from working out or 4 months and try to get back out and do some sprints. You know how tough that is. So I know you guys are all doing that, I'm sure, aren't you? So, but that's been probably the biggest adjustment. Trying to be smart with it. You know, I got veteran guys, so I got good people. They work hard. So again, I've kind of adjusted when to push on the gas a little bit and when to let off a little bit, because I trust them as people and I trust their, you know, what they tell me about their bodies. So that's been the biggest challenge is kind of navigating through that a little bit differently. But from a preparation standpoint, you know, I feel good where we're at. Naturally, we got to keep getting better in a lot of areas and trying to bring some new guys and some young guys along that's not in the program. But, you know, as always, they got to catch up to the other guys. So I think we're in a good place right now with 4 weeks to go.
Hey, Rick, Mark Story from the Lexington Herald-Leader. What has Tavion meant to you, you know, in the time he's been with you, and where have you challenged him for his final year to sort of improve?
And who am I speaking with?
Mark Story from the Lexington
Yeah,
Herald.
Mark. Okay, Mark, I didn't have you. Okay, I got you. Hey, Mark, your picture's not live on here. You got a picture, but you're not talking. What happened?
I can make it live, but
That's okay. If you're good, you're good.
Usually people are complaining when my picture is live.
I got you. Well, we'll leave it just like that then. Hey, ask your question again.
I was just curious about Tavion Hollingsworth, what he's meant to you guys, you know,
Okay.
having him in the program, and just kind of where you've challenged him going into his final year to improve.
Well, Mark, you know, stats kind of speaks for itself, what he's meant to us. Anytime you have an opportunity, and Zach knows these stats more than I do. I don't always follow the stats, but I think he has an opportunity to become maybe the second all-time leading scorer in the history of Western Kentucky. Is that correct stat, Zach? So that alone tells you he's been a pretty effective player. You know, he came in as the guy that, you know, scores the basketball. That's what he is. You know, I don't know what position he is. You know, in today's basketball, that's a good thing. Sometimes it's best not to be called a one or two. He's just a basketball player. He has the ability to know, he knows where that rim's at. You know, he's a competitor. You know, ability to score the basketball and ability to compete, those are two things it's hard to teach. And he does both of those things. As I said, came from a very good high school program where he's been coached. And, you know, I think every year he's been here, he's gotten better. You know, I think he's matured as a person even. And I think he'll continue to have tremendous success for us.
Is there a particular area going into his senior year you'd like to see him, you know, sort of step up or improve in?
Well, you know, I think an area in his game he's gotten a whole lot better at, but continue wanting him to keep getting better. You know, he came in as such a scorer, and I think nobody in high school could ever keep him from getting to the rim. And he had a great mid-range game, which in turn, you know, he didn't always have to rely on shooting a three-pointer. Since he's been here, I think that's one area it's gotten better and better every year. Continue to be a, you know, better three-point shooter, which in turn continues to help sets up that drive and makes him a more versatile player and a lot tougher to defend. But again, he's one of those guys when the lights comes on, you know, he's a competitor and he has the ability to score that basketball multiple ways.
And one more thing, when you guys were talking about possibly playing UK this year, was that in any way motivated by a desire to give him a chance to play in Lexington at least one time as a collegian?
Well, it would have been. It wasn't just for him. We were doing it for, you know, him too, but our program, every player, you know, fans, everybody, because we thought it was it's a great game for two in-state teams. In particular, going through what we're all going through from a travel standpoint, it made perfect sense. You know, at the time, they were looking for games. Ended up settling on a couple other Conference USA teams. So, and like I said to that, you know, Mark, it's, you know, we end up not getting a game scheduled. I take it as respect. That's the way I look at it. I didn't get upset about it. if I'm Kentucky, I probably wouldn't have played us neither. They don't have a lot to gain. We have a good team. They have a good team. Respect our program. We thought it would have been a tremendous in-state game that, both fans would have loved. But again, fan bases would have loved. But again, didn't work out. But hopefully in the future, maybe sometime we can still play the game. Mark?
Thank you, Rick.
Yep.
Jared McDonald from the Daily News. I know you've talked a lot about the experience that you guys have coming back, and you mentioned some of those newcomers. Throughout practice so far, which of those newcomers have impressed you, and which ones do you think might be able to make an impact early on in the season?
Well, I've said from day one, the newcomer, the freshman coming in from Collins High School, Tavion McKnight, his adjustments have been very minimized. Most guys, it's a huge adjustment for young men physically and mentally the freshman year. Well, those two things are not adjustments for him. He's way ahead of the curve in both those areas. Physically, he's 200 pounds. Mentally, he's consistent every day, toughness wise. So, the first things he had to overcome is not a hurdle for him at all. He's been really impressive. I like all of our new guys. I think all of them are different. Naturally, JC guy is a little bit more experienced. Kevin, but has shown ability to make some shots and do different things. I think Colin's a nice young player too. The kid from Arkansas, like his abilities. Just going to, being able to see where everybody fits because we have a veteran team coming back. I think, we talk about those veteran guys, Rawls I look at now as a sophomore back is I think he's made strides and, big steps too. So we have a lot of different movable parts, guys that play multiple positions. And I like that. I don't like position basketball. I like guys that can play multiple positions. And I think we have several guys can do that and score different ways.
Coach, Caden Gaylor with the Herald. With the new guys, do you expect on-court chemistry with everything going on to take a while to gel together?
Well, I've always said this, when you have good people, chemistry and all those kind of things come together a lot easier. And we do have good people. I like our team 1 through 15, personnel wise, as people is about as good as you can get. When you have that, it's easier to mix new pieces and new parts. So, I don't think that's has not been a problem for us, Caden, at all. And, I feel good about where that is right now. And like I said, we have good people.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News again. You added a guy that you've known for quite a while over the summer, Noah. What does it mean to have him?
You think I've known him a little bit?
a little bit, recruiting him for a while. But what does it mean to have him on the team with you, and what kind of went into the decision to reclassify and join the team as a walk-on?
Well, Noah's a guy that loves the game. During all this time when he couldn't get out, Noah was working every day and in that gym. He's put a lot into it, and and it was totally his decision, his choice. He was able to graduate, number one. His mother's kept him online. His mom's done a great job with him as a student. He was almost a perfect student, and he was able to graduate in those 3 years. And he wanted the opportunity to really work. In high school, it's, as you all know, and Tyler, I don't know if you joined us yet or not, it's tough right now with the amount of work that they can put in right there. And he had opportunities. He had opportunities once a couple people found out he was going to reclassify. He received scholarship offer to Division I schools once they figured it out. But he wanted to stay here. And as I told him, it won't be easy here. I mean, it's not going to be easy anyway. He knows that, and he's seen that. And definitely, because he's my son, probably makes it harder on him. I'm going to expect more from him. He won't get any breaks in any way, but he's a guy I don't have to worry about. He's going to do all the little things. He's going to work hard every day, and he'll sit back and learn. And Naturally, like all young guys, he has to get stronger, and we'll see how he develops here in the future.
Coach, this is Nick with the College Heights Herald. My question for you is, with the type of veteran group that you do have, how eager do you think this group is going to be when it comes to having, spring basketball?
Well, Nick, it's a reason why. It's a reason why that I've done what I've done with scheduling. I'm sure there's not many people want to jump off and play 2 top 25 teams right off the bat like we are in Louisville and LSU. And besides being other good teams, I know the Louisville bubble is going to have probably 3 teams, 2 other teams we play. A couple of them is going to be picked to win their league, whether it's Winthrop, whether it's Greensboro, whether it's Little Rock. All those teams are going to be picked to win their league. And then, like I said, you throw Louisville on top of it. You throw LSU on top of it. There's not many people want that kind of schedule, but I want it because, again, I've always said, your players are going to play the competition. And when you have competition, to me, it helps practice. We're working for something. Again, I'm not afraid of the competition. I like it, especially I got a veteran team. You guys have followed us. We haven't shied away from competition since we've been here. Again, like I said, the competition brings out the best in all of us. And as players, kind of players we want to have and kind of guys we're going to have, we want those kind of, opportunities and to be able to play those kind of opponents.
Coach Jared McDonald with the Daily News here again. I know you're a guy that is able to get some good players to come play at Western Kentucky. From a recruiting standpoint, what has this year been like for you?
Well, it's for sure it's been different. I think it's probably hurt us some from a standpoint of some people, they want to call us a mid-major program. That's fine. Call us what you want to call us. I think it's documented what we've done against a so-called Power Fives too. But when you're not able to get kids on your campus, sometimes you can't show and sell some things that you normally could. I think that's been harder for us. It probably affected us more than a lot of some other programs because we're trying to recruit the same kind of kids that, a lot of Power Fives are recruiting. And naturally, if we don't have the opportunity to show them on campus personally, it's harder for them to visualize that. Especially, it's easy for them to see Power Five and everybody telling them mid-major. But if you come here and see our facilities and see what we've done crowd-wise and all that, as you guys well know, you all know what it is here. I would be willing to say our atmosphere is as good or better than 80 or 90% of any Power Five teams. And you guys who've been in here, you all know that.
Anything else for Coach?
Tyler, where you at? Tyler, I see your picture, but you're not saying anything. You on?
I'm a little late. I'm sorry about that. I had a class roll over this morning.
Tyler, you can't be late now. Skip class if you're going to be on this Zoom call on time.
I know.
What's your questions? Come on, give me a question, Tyler.
League scheduling this year, how they're doing 2 games. Do you touch any on that?
Yeah, I did. Jared Stone beat you to the punch right there. But,
I gotcha.
I'll just repeat it real quick. It's good. I like it because I think it helps increases our opportunities maybe of surviving and playing those games, not having to travel in between games and test in between games. Maybe if we have to test here still, I don't know if that's been set yet. I don't think it has, but at least we'll be at our home sites, getting tested. I don't know I don't think that's been decided yet. If we go on the road and play Thursday, we're going to get tested Friday again or not. That will be interesting to see how all that works. Hey, you guys know this. It's going to be an interesting year for all of us, you guys too. I think we all got to be flexible. We all got to be willing to, make adjustments. I've learned a long time ago, does not do no good to worry or complain about things you have no control over. And again, none of us have no control over what's going on right now with this virus. So that's kind of the way we approach it. We kind of approach it, used to be day by day, and now we try to approach it week by week here now and keep moving forward. And it seems to be we're all moving in the right direction. We just need to try to get to I think we leave on the 23rd for that 25th bubble. So that's our next challenge, getting to that bubble. I think once we get to the bubbles, we'll be in good shape. And You know, I know the students then leave. Time we get back, the students are gone. So our guys have done a very good job so far. We've been blessed. I think it shows a little bit of maturity our guys have had, that we haven't had any issues yet, knock on wood. You know, let's hope that continues. You know, every day goes by, we don't have it. Probably the odds go up that we're going to have it. So let's just hope we can keep doing what we're doing and hope we can get to the bubble and get to these first games.
Anything else for Coach?
You guys good?